Okay, so welcome to episode 2 for AI for Dummies on my YouTube course. Still trying to figure out kind of how I'm going to be presenting this whole thing, but I figured I would get another video out so you guys can start watching and can actually start becoming a program instead of one video that's posted there. Without further ado, let's get right into it, right? Why would companies implement voice AI, right? So we went over what voice AI is, how it works. Now let's talk about why would companies actually implement voice AI into their business? Why would they do that, right? They have their receptionist right now. They have, other ways to do it. Why would they go with AI as their go-to for the receptionist, for their outbound? So let's talk about it, right? So it's just gonna be kind of a roadmap so you guys can follow along. Let's go right into it. Okay, so the core question, right? So the question in mind, let me move my thing right here. The question in mind is why voice AI instead of a traditional, receptionist staff, right? So business owners, they face a critical decision, right? They either have to hire a traditional receptionist, an overseas virtual assistant, or implement voice AI technology, right? And the answer isn't always about replacing humans, right? It's about eliminating the costs and the mistakes that businesses are making, right? That's losing them thousands of dollars every month. And those mistakes are missing the phone, not following up with leads, and just letting calls go unanswered, especially after hours, right? These are big things. And although one call may seem not like a problem, it adds up. It always adds up, right? The more calls you miss, the more you're gonna basically miss, the more revenue, and it's a true system, right? I will call, I mean, just an example for you guys to get a better understanding. I will call 90 businesses, and these are businesses. These are businesses that are on Google, right? These are businesses that are working, that have Google reviews. They miss my call, right? And that's a big thing. What if I was inquiring on business, on revenue? They're just missing my call. They never call me back. I don't get callbacks. I get those automated texts sometimes like, hey, sorry, missed your call. How can we help? Why would a business respond? I mean, why would a customer respond to that? That person's going on to the next person, to the next business. They're not waiting for you, right? So that's why you can't miss calls. It's so crucial not to miss calls, right? And voice AI, it addresses the specific pain points that traditional, staff are usually struggling to solve. So, missed calls during peak hours or just inconsistent customer service because they have, 10 people on hold that are listening to that music that you get put on while hold. What are they doing? They're hanging up the phone, right? And the whole point of it is to be automatic, automated, and just take care of the whole process, right? It solves the two big problems in business. And it's called TM. That's what I like to call it, time and money, right? So I'll just explore the 10 key reasons companies are making the switch because I'm already calling companies. I'm already dealing with companies who already have receptionists. So you might be wondering, why are they making the switch? So inbound benefits, right? So inbound is the actual receptionist, right? The person sitting at the desk. So it captures every opportunity, right? Because there's three filtered kind of calls that you get as a business. A being customers inquiring, B being customers questioning, C being just spam, right? That's probably your main three that I think people usually have to deal with. And the first set of challenges, right, involves those answering those calls effectively, right? For home service businesses, for example, every ring represents potential revenue, right? As I talked to before, every missed call is money walking out the door to competitors. Because if you have Jack, for example, who's selling his house and needs his windows cleaned, right? So he doesn't have a person right now. He just wants, a quick job done. He calls the first business on Google, and guess what? That person doesn't pick up the phone. What's Jack doing? Jack is going straight to the next person. Jack is not here to wait for you to pick up the phone. So that's exactly why, it's just money walking out the door if you're missing those calls. Number two can be missed calls equals lost revenue. Call spikes, so humans can't always handle those call spikes, right? They could be missing out. And then just the fact that it's not available 24/7, right? So many businesses I've talked to over the phone, they're like, well, yeah, the biggest problem for us is we're not answering after hours, right? And they're like, oh, we just answer it the next day. But what if it's an emergency, right? What if you're 24/7 plumbing service, right? You're running 24/7 and an emergency breaks out at 10 p.m., your receptionist not on call, you're at a job, and you're missing the call, right? You're missing the call. Simple as that. You can't be missing these calls. So again, home service businesses lose 30 to 50% of potential jobs from unanswered calls. Human receptions can't handle the calls, especially during peak seasons. AI can answer 20 plus calls simultaneously, right? That's the beauty about it, without breaking a sweat, right? So it's a robot. It answers. It doesn't have time to sleep. And then, for example, Christmas light installers during busy seasons, HVAC rush seasons, businesses with seasonal surges, so they just, are doing crazy well in certain months, and they're just doing so much volume that they can't handle it, right? All these different things that they're kind of doing. So again, that happens, and then just the fact that it's 24/7 availability, it's a big deal, right? So just, professional service, right? So look at this, for example, right? Human staff have bad days. They have mood changes. They get sick, personal issues, right? Their boyfriend, girlfriend broke up with them. They, lost their money in the casino the night before. I don't know, right? Constantly different moods are coming to in work. That reflects on business, right? It does. Voice quality, tonality, it works dramatically, right? Depending on stress levels, time of day, the circumstances. Voice AI maintains, the same consistent, warm, polite, on script, and professional every single time because it's a robot, right? It's going to do what you tell it to do. So when you build it correctly, it sounds genuine, it sounds human, and it talks like a human with ums, with the breathing patterns. Like, it's pretty cool how realistic it gets, right? And then on top of that, customers see the same exceptional experience, whether they call at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. on Monday or 11 p.m. on a Saturday, right? And now I want you to look at this, right? Your monthly receptionist cost, right, per employee, not including benefits, is going to be $4 to $6K, right? I want you to take that into consideration. It's around $4,000 to $6,000. If you're a team of 4 to 5, right, receptionists, because there's businesses out there who do that, they're spending 20 to 30K, right? 20 to 30K on receptionists. AI is 1/10 of that, right? And there's no payroll, there's no training, there's no turnover expenses. It's one set payment monthly, right? So it's the fact that it's saving so much money for them, right? So it's a no-brainer for them. Think of it. It's a no-brainer. And then obviously automatic follow-ups. So things like that. Automatic follow-ups. So leads go cold when busy. Staff forget callbacks. Tracking analytics, right? So traditional phone systems provide zero insights and what actually is happening with the customer calls, and you're flying blind, right? You're unable to identify problems or optimize your approach because you don't know the data that's coming in. Voice AI changed everything by providing, those good analytics, the detailed call logs, keyword tracking, all these things. You can have it in a dashboard for the business owner to see how their, the AI is performing. So they can see how much money it's saving them, how much time it's saving them. And this data helps businesses improve, right, refine, identify the common objections, and overall scale. And the big picture of it, right? So what the big picture, right? The whole point of this video. A, it's more revenue. B, it's perfect consistency. C, it's a better experience. There's more bookings, it's lower costs, and it's more free time for the owners, right? These are big things. These are big problems that our AI is solving. So if you learn how to pitch it, which is what I'm going to be teaching you guys, because again and again, I say, it's the most important thing in this. If you know how to pitch it, you will be able to sell it because it is so beneficial that companies just don't understand it yet, right? And then, right, it solves real business problems, right? So these 10 pain points represent the concrete, measurable reason companies are investing in voice AI, right? So it's a real thing, right? It solves real problems. And yeah, that's basically a quick video on that. I'll have this out soon. Watch this, leave a subscribe because I'm going to be posting probably 2 times a week. And the next video, we're going to be covering what niche you should choose when you're starting off.